The Toyota Corolla used to be everywhere. In 2006, Toyota sold almost 400,000 of them. But as compact crossovers gained popularity, by 2022, the RAV4 was the one selling 400,000 units. So it's understandable if you've forgotten a bit about the Toyota Corolla. This is a Corolla hybrid equipped with all-wheel drive, and it's supposed to get 47 miles per gallon in the city. In 2022, if you wanted a Corolla hybrid, you could only buy a front-wheel drive LE model. That was the only option, but for 2023, Toyota has expanded the trim lineup to include the SE XLA, the SE Infrared Edition, and all-wheel drive versions of the Ella SE and SE Infrared. This is an SE all-wheel drive trim, and personally I think it looks quite handsome. The headlights have a nice wraparound design, and the SE trim's front end with its black mesh grille gives it a sporty look. The styling is more conventional along the side, but things pick up at the back. The taillights might be bland, but I like how the black trim piece splits the trunk, with the upper half jutting out a bit more for a more aerodynamic shape. It even has a single exhaust pipe with dual chrome tips. Some trickery, but I like it. Our test car has 18-inch wheels. It's amazing how even a Corolla can wear 18s these days, like it's no big deal. There's also blacked out rocker trim along the side for a bit of extra flair. Inside, we're back to basics. The Corolla is often criticized for being more of an appliance than a car, and the interior reflects that. It has all the excitement of a KitchenAid stand mixer. Don't get me wrong, those stand mixers are incredibly helpful and I personally love mine, but we're still just talking about a KitchenAid. Let's hit the highlights. Toyota covered the surfaces above the hip point with a soft-touch rubber material, and it all fits together beautifully. This material will hold up better over time than hard plastic, as it's less likely to develop squeaks and won't scuff as easily. I also really like the steering wheel. It's relatively small in diameter, but it has a good grip, and I like the layout of the physical buttons on the wheel. The positioning of the cup holders is nice. There's a forward tray for my phone, and I really like how the shifter feels. Most notably, the tech interface is a huge step forward. This model has Toyota's new look software, a big upgrade from the outdated system in 2022 Corolla. We'll dive deeper into it later, so keep watching. The bad news? Well, that's about it. When you look at this interior and compare it to the 2023 Hyundai Elantra, where's all the fun and quirks? Sure, there's something to be said about the utilitarian functionality of the Corolla, but when you strip out all the style, you're left with something pretty bleak. It's a hybrid, so there's no engine sound when you turn it on. But let's not lose sight of the fact that this is still a Corolla, and a hybrid at that. If you're shopping for this car, you're likely motivated by value, reliability, and efficiency. And let me tell you, this car is efficient. With all-wheel drive, it should get 47 mpg in the city, 41 on the highway, and 44 combined. If you drop the all-wheel drive and opt for the LE trim with 16-inch wheels, those numbers jump to 53 mpg in the city, 46 on the highway, and 50 combined. I've driven this car about 350 miles mostly on the highway and in very cold winter weather. Over the course of the test, I saw 40.1 mpg. The hybrid powertrain's backbone is a 1.8-liter 4-cylinder engine, making a total of 134 horsepower and 156 pound-feet of torque. It's not fast, in fact it's pretty slow, especially if the hybrid system's battery is depleted. But some regenerative braking or time spent in traffic will recharge the battery. Power is managed by an electronic CVT that tends to drag, especially on the highway. This car doesn't like highway driving and it really doesn't like hilly highways. It's fine for zipping around town where road and wind noise are kept nicely at bay. But get it up to 60 miles per hour and you'll need to crank up the radio to drown out the noise. Highway driving reveals how little insulation Toyota has added here. On slower, more winding roads, things are better. The steering is light but not vague. It's sharp and doesn't wander off center. The suspension is surprisingly well sorted for a vehicle in the Corolla's class, as long as you don't drive too fast over winding or broken pavement. It won't handle like a WRX, but the multi-link rear suspension is much better than the old torsion beam setups. This Corolla hybrid has an electronic all-wheel drive system powered by an extra electric motor mounted on the rear axle. However, that extra motor doesn't add any power to the equation. Still, all-wheel drive is this vehicle's trump card, even more than its price, value, or reputation for reliability. And it's a pretty good all-wheel drive system. I took the Corolla up to Vermont for skiing, and after about 10 inches of fresh snow, I had no problem getting there. The system also recognizes phrases like "Hey Toyota" to wake it up, and it knew to spell fish radio with a PH. If you're like me, you'll spend most of your time driving with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You can also link your Apple Music or Amazon Music accounts if you pay for the 4G Wi-Fi hotspot. There's also HD radio, Sirius XM subscription required, and 4 USB-C ports. The Corolla Hybrid now comes standard with Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which includes almost all the standard advanced driver assistance systems. However, blind spot monitoring and rear cross-traffic alert aren't standard, you have to pay extra for those. As a sedan, you don't get the same headroom or legroom in the back as you would in a crossover, and as a compact sedan, well, there's not much headroom or legroom at all, where there's only 34.8 inches of legroom compared to 38 in the Elantra Hybrid. Headroom is closer at 37.1 inches compared to 37.3. If you're tall, you probably don't want to spend a lot of time in the back of any compact sedan. The trunk is small too, is 13.1 cubic feet, which falls short of the Elantra, Civic, Sentra, and Jetta. It's closest in size to the Mazda 3, which isn't known for being overly spacious. Ultimately, most shoppers will look at the Toyota Corolla Hybrid because of its value. Including its $1,095 destination fee, this car starts at $23,995 for the front-wheel drive LE trim. Our SE all-wheel drive trim starts at $27,730 pesos. For the 2023 model year, Toyota lowered the base trim price by $1,250, making this car much more competitive. The Hyundai Elantra Hybrid starts at $25,665, including destination. While the Elantra Hybrid has a much nicer interior, it doesn't offer all-wheel drive. That makes the Corolla Hybrid all-wheel drive a bit of a Goldilocks in the segment. It's affordable, efficient, and safer for driving in wintry weather. As far as I know, only one other car on the market can boast that trio of features, and that's another Toyota, the all-new Prius. The Prius looks better, is more powerful, returns better fuel economy, and has more cargo space. It also offers all-wheel drive but isn't priced as competitively, starting at $28,245, including destination. What do you think? Do you go with the new Prius, or is the Corolla Hybrid the better value? Let us know in the comments, we genuinely want to hear from you. As always, thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.